Motorstorm Pacific Rift is turning 15 this year, unless you're watching this video from the future, in which case, sorry about the meerkat incident. But the fact that this glorious PlayStation exclusive still feels as good as it does is both impressive and disappointing. The summer that it was announced, I was working on a farm collecting gourds, my true calling. And every time I looked off into the rows of summer squash, I pictured myself driving through the dense forest of Pacific Rift's tropical paradise. I didn't know what to expect in the sequel to the hit PS3 launch title. I was just hoping for split screen, more tracks, and the same destructive mayhem. What we got was split screen, double the tracks, and the greatest racing environment since Moo Moo Farm. This time around, it wasn't just the jagged mountains of Monument Valley. It was an entire island split up into 4 distinct zones: dirt, wind, hotness, and fish air. Each of these areas contain different obstacles and features. Lots of mud can be found in the Earth region, slowing you down but giving you a nice hydrating snack. Stomach-dropping jumps can be taken in the air region, where one small turn can send you flying off course. Trails of molten lava can pour through the fire region, heating your boost meter past usable levels. And deep ponds and rivers populate the water zone, drowning bikes and ATVs while cooling down the larger vehicles. Plenty of these elements bleed over into other categories, making it all feel like one thriving ecosystem. Sort of like when you take a living room pillow and put it in the backyard. When you're in the thick of it, the ferocity is palpable. The wrecks are as mesmerizing as ever, and the music always hits like Tyson. Boneless chicken bites. At this point in the evolution of technology, the 720p resolution leaves a lot to be desired, but the look and feel is still terrific. The lighting is like shing. The sound design is like and the track design is like, whoa, my seatbelt is unbuckled. Jerry, click it back in. Stop taking photos. This is no time to update your MySpace profile. We're in last place, and I've got 3 goats riding on us getting first. I need those goats, Jerry. I need those goats. Everything down to the user interface was improved. There's more customization options with the vehicles and the drivers, some of whom look like they don't get out of the Australian wasteland very often. The structure for changing your vehicle type and paint job is much more streamlined and doesn't take 5 business days to load. Which is a shame really, since that was the time I used to spend watering my Sugar Snap pea plants. Now when am I gonna water my Sugar Snap pea plants? The 16 tracks were very welcome, but there's only 4 tracks per region and 24 events per zone, so that's a lot of repetition. Granted, the time of day, the weather, as well as the event type is changed up, but it still struggles to stay fresh. There were 6 additional tracks offered through DLC, but I could never afford them. Even on the same track again and again, there's so much to appreciate about the environment. Abandoned buildings are scattered around with repurposed scrap metal, adding to the already unique setting. It's not just peripheral though. Destructible elements are littered on the course, allowing you to drive through foliage, smash through barriers, and break through the glass ceiling that has been keeping the lower class oppressed for generations. Even modern games drool over the way your vehicle gets coated in mud, then washes it away under an angelic waterfall. The layouts are truly spectacular, but more than a few times I've taken a slightly wrong turn and ended up in a very wrong corner of the island. The amount of densely packed details make it tough to see the next turn, even when there aren't a dozen vehicles kicking up clouds of dirt. It's all part of the fun, though. If you think about it, you'd have a tough time seeing out the windshield too if you were driving a dune buggy through an abandoned, overgrown natural rainforest with 15 other mentally unstable adrenaline junkies on an unforgettable weekend of friendship and romance. I'm sure the general difficulty of traversal was intended to make you really appreciate the importance of choosing the best path and the best vehicle for your driving style. But honestly, I did think the volcanoes would play a bigger role. It's not uncommon in racing games, but it still irks me when a race lets you choose from certain vehicle classes only to see many more types show up in the actual race. It's like, if I want to join a monster truck race on a $300 dirt bike I got at Walmart, that's my prerogative. Something that can be easily overlooked is the AI. They actually feel like real drivers, both strategic and aggressive, yet flawed and accident-prone. I even saw someone throw a fully grown pelican out the window in a fit of road rage, just like in South Florida. I know I'm pressing my face firmly against the rose-colored glasses of nostalgia, but I can't help but only see the best in a sequel that improved on its predecessor in every single category. It's unfortunate how rare games like this have become. Most racing titles are aimed at very specific niche audiences, but so few are accessible to the masses. And even fewer set themselves apart with such an imaginative setting. The ambiance in this sequel is something no one can replicate. Beautifully chaotic, charmingly unrestrained. I don't know much about the Pacific region, but their rift is truly rifty. Thank you for being here. I love you so much. If there's any other games that you want me to revisit, let me know in the area where words can be typed out.